Denise Gwen, reading aloud for you from my novel, His Christmas Eve Proposal, Book 3 of The Medicine Women of Alaska, Chapter 20. It was probably just as well that Naomi decided to end their little water break. He was so close to reaching for her, wrapping her up in his arms and kissing her senseless. For a long moment, he thought she'd been on the brink of reaching toward him for a kiss, and he wouldn't have minded it at all. No, not at all. He continued fantasizing how it'd feel to kiss her. He'd wrap her up in his arms and lie down beside her on the stone slab. And perhaps, if she were willing, he'd fling caution to the wind and make love to her right there, basking in the sunshine and enjoying a tranquil, beautiful day. He shuddered with pent-up desire and forced himself to look away. Naomi looked at Drew and saw the hurt in his eyes. She stopped dead in her tracks. "Drew, I'm so sorry for being rude." He stopped and looked at her with surprise. "When were you rude? You weren't rude at all." "Well, I lost my temper a little when we were talking about my brother. I'm sorry. I don't like to talk about certain things from my past. Can you understand that?" "I suppose I can," he said, "but I'm never going to know you, Naomi, if you don't let me in." She bowed her head. "I'm not ready." He sighed with frustration and ran his hands through his raven black hair. "I don't know what you're running from, and I want to help you, but I can't if you won't let me. You're right. Ever since I met you, you've been standoffish and kind of hiding, if you know what I mean." She gazed at him with shock, then nodded. "How'd you know that?" He guffawed, and it helped to ease the tension a little. She laughed. Before too much more time passed, they were both roaring with laughter. Okay," he said. "Let me see. How did I sense that you were hiding something?" "Yes, Sherlock, please do tell me." "Okay, number one, you're a top-notch surgeon. You don't belong here." "You're being kind of hard on yourself, aren't you?" she asked. "After all, you're here. I'm here for a reason. My dad asked me to run his practice for him 5 years ago when he was first diagnosed with cancer. But you, my dear, are a completely different case." "Oh, in what way?" "You ought to be working at one of the best hospitals in the country, and yet you come out to this, well, I may as well say it, shouldn't I?" "Say what?" "You come out to this backwater, as my ex-wife used to call this place that I love so much. Help me understand why you've come all the way out here to set yourself up in this small town practice instead of doing what you were born to do." She looked away. "It's like you're hiding in plain sight. You're running away from something in your past." She said nothing, only gazed up at him with shadowed eyes. "I wish I knew what it was, because if I knew, then we might have a life together here." Her bottom lip trembled. He knew it then. Somehow he'd said the one thing that made her realize that someone in Nome Town got her. He saw her. He got her. And more than that, he'd fallen in love with her. "I'm crazy about you, Naomi." She gazed at him with warmth and tears. "Let's finish our walk?" "Fine," he said. "This way?" she asked. "Sure."